John, how do you reflect on that tonight? Is it hard not to be deflated?
Strange game, very, very strange game. I think Barrow surprised us a little bit with how passive they were in the first half. Let us have the ball, let us do what we wanted. Obviously set up for the try and get a 0-0. We scored a bit of a fluke, I thought. Sean, the right place, the right time. You 1-0 up and pretty comfortable for the start of the second half. And then, you've got to appreciate that a team who's getting beat 1-0 are going to change the shape. They're going to throw caution to the wind. They're going to commit more men forward. And that's when we've got to be able to get our foot on the ball, pass it, and exploit them on the break. Their goals come from a one-on-one situation for us. Probably the only shot they had on the game has gone into our goal, on our goal. Probably the only shot on our goal has gone in. But we didn't have too many on theirs. So, having got the first goal and getting so late into the game, I think what was it, 88 minutes that they scored. Obviously you're going to be disappointed. It was important that we kept our heads because they've got the momentum. And it was important that we kept our heads and didn't go under and lose the game. But bitterly disappointed that a game that was there for the taking has eluded us. And, Barrow will feel as though they finished the game stronger. But if you look at the game as a whole, we were in total control for big periods without hurting them. And that's our problem at the moment. We're getting caught in two minds about what to do with the ball. And the coaching that we give them, we try and encourage them to be expansive. The amount of time they allowed us on the ball in the first half, we took too long to pass it. So consequently, we were having 30 passes instead of 3 to get the ball from one side of the pitch to the other. And we made 1 or 2 good moves and didn't exploit it. And then, we changed it in the second half because we're having so much of the ball. We put a winger on it right back because they're not really hurting us. They didn't really hurt us even after that. Until the last maybe 5 or 10 minutes when they put a lot of balls into our box. We dealt with most of them. Disappointing that we've lost the ball initially in their half. And then a cross comes in and we've gone to 3 centre halves. And their striker can elude all 3 of them and poke it into the corner.
Is it a hard balancing act, that defensive unit at the moment? Because in the second half you're playing with 2 midfielders in your full-back positions, aren't you, in Seb Quirk and Sean Worley? So is it hard not to change towards the end to make sure you get over the line as you try to do?
Well, we went to 3 centre halves at the back and we went to 2 recognised wing-backs. We've both played there before, Ros and Sean. So that wasn't going to be a problem. We got Seb into the middle of midfield to give us a bit of strength. I think the big problem was that in order to go to take the back, Sean was the natural one to come off. And you lose Sean's game knowledge, his experience. And you've lost Seamus's game knowledge and experience. So that hampered us, for sure. I think the skipper going off was probably the turning point in the game. That's when they upped the game and we went under a little bit. And then we're left with, apart from Sean Worley on the pitch, the oldest player we've got is 23, which is a very young, naive team. And I think if you take Sean out of that equation and you take Toby out of the equation because he's played a lot of games, the other 8 wouldn't have played 100 between them. So that's where your problems arise. And unfortunately, that's the situation that we're in because of what we've got, and we've got to work with that, and we've got to use their youth and their energy and their exuberance, and we've got to use that to better effect. And the more they play, the better they'll get.
Did Sean McConville have an injury problem to take him off? And what happened with Kelvin Mellor as well?
Well, Kelvin was a tactical decision because we were getting loads of the ball. And so you may as well have a winger on there as a fullback because they were just getting out at will. They changed the shape to try and combat that as well. And you know, Sean, you know, played 60 minutes Saturday. You know, it's easy to find excuses, but it's a tiring journey going to Kent, and getting back at 1 o'clock in the morning, at 12:30 on Saturday, Sunday morning, and then, you know, training as best you can yesterday. And, you know, if you look at Jay Rich wasn't ideal in playing two 90 minutes back to back, but that's needs must. Hopefully we'll get a few more reinforcements in before the window for the defensive aspect of it. But it's a balancing act, and you know, we're still gelling, we're still learning, and you never know, that might end up being a good point.
In terms of recruitment and looking forward towards the end of the window, which is less than 2 weeks away now, in what net are you looking into? What pot are you looking into? Non-league, loans? Where are you looking?
Well, if you look at the logical thing, we haven't got a lot of money to spend, so you're only really going to get loans of younger players. So you're not going to get a fully fledged experienced player, because they command just too much money for a club of our size. So there's no point moaning about that. You just got to be realistic, and we've done it in the past, and hopefully we'll do it again. But you know, we've got to learn. We've got to learn quickly. You know, okay, when the season started, for the amount of goals we shipped in last year, to only concede 2 in 3 games in the league, 4 if you count Bradford's game. It's not bad for a new defence, a relatively new defence. But we can't try and see it out the way we did, because we invited them on, and unfortunately we didn't hold the ball up, and certain times we gifted them possession back, and we paid the price.
I think Brad Hill's got the sponsors man of the match, so shows how well he played tonight. After relegation, are you happy to take 4 points from 3 games? Is it a decent start, do you think?
Not really, no. No, I think tonight was a game that we've missed a massive opportunity to win a game. We've played a team who were passive, totally passive in the first half, and let us do what we wanted. Relied on churning us and trying to get corners, and they got quite a few corners that didn't trouble us. Put a lot of throws into our box that we dealt with relatively comfortably. So to go out in the second half and attack them, and then go into our shell for the last 20 minutes and try and see it through when with the inspiration on the pitch, to do that, that's disappointing.